Okay, so I have tried so hard over the last week or two to actually get this video to the internet. So I keep getting all these copyright claims for uploading the video, keep changing the clips, it just won't work. So what I've decided to do is I've decided to take all the audio from the video and make somewhat of a podcast with it. So what I'd recommend you do when listening to it'll just show this poster the entire time. What I recommend you do while listening to this is just sit down, maybe play some video games, put your earbuds in, just listen to me talk about Revenge of the Fallen for a little while. I'll go over the same categories as usual. It'll basically be the audio. It'll be the same style as I did the Fallen Kingdom epic review. I hope to do more actual epic reviews in the future, but this is just what happened with this one. It does make me mad that I have to do this, but you know, whatever. Anyway, here are my thoughts on Revenge of the Fallen. It is pretty much a well-known fact right now that the Transformers movies suck. And this is pretty obvious considering that they are Transformers movies, but no one would expect Transformers movies to be this bad. A lot of people would argue, oh, Age of Extinction is the worst Transformers movie. Well, as I'm recording this, I haven't seen Age of Extinction. By the time I'm uploading this video, maybe I have, but I don't know. But as I stand, I don't think I'm going to dislike it as much as I did for Revenge of the Fallen. Revenge of the Fallen is infamously possibly one of the most hated action blockbusters of all time. I'm serious. Like, from a 13-year-old standpoint, which is how old I am, I hate this movie. Like, it's awful. It has almost no redeemable qualities. This movie, honestly, there are a lot of reasons why this movie sucks. The main one is that this movie had a writer's strike in the middle, meaning that they went into the movie without a complete script. Shows how lazy Michael Bay is. This movie's production was an absolute disaster, and it shows when watching this movie. The incoherency in this movie is through the roof. Half of the plot doesn't make sense at all. The characters are stupid. The comedy is unfunny. This is possibly the worst action film that's this size of a blockbuster. And to see this movie has released in 2009, not even 10 years ago, really surprises me, considering how outdated this movie ends up being. I went into this movie expecting a pretty freaking bad movie, and I got one of the worst films I believe I have ever seen. This movie obviously forgets what made the first one so good. What made the first Transformers movie so dang good? I mean, I wouldn't say Transformers 1 was actually very good. I have a review of that on my channel if you want to check that out. But I wouldn't say it was very bad. Transformers 1 honestly realized it was a really stupid movie, and it just thought, hey, why don't we commit to our insane absurdity? And it ended up being quite a fun time. Revenge of the Fallen, it's not that. There's something about this movie that is just so painful. The comedy, just everything about this movie's so boring or painful or obnoxious or just overall terrible. You guys remember the Fallen Kingdom video, right? The last epic review? Yeah, well, my comparison to this movie and that movie is that movie is possibly 4 times better than this movie. Oh my god. Of course, I'm going to go in the same format as I did last time with the last review. I'm going to go through the main categories of the characters, the plot, the enjoyability, and finally, I think enjoyability is final. Whatever. Characters, plot, enjoyability, and of course, visuals. So let's get into the characters of Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. Alright, so for the characters of this movie, we have a selection of characters who all suck. They all do. Let's first talk about Sam Witwicky, who is the main character of this movie. And I don't hate Sam Witwicky's character. I mean, he's generic, but honestly, in the 3 movies that he actually appears in, for Dark of the Moon, Revenge of the Fallen, and of course the original Transformers, he's not a terrible character per se. I just don't really like him that much. He's a fine lead. Some of his plot lines are pretty stupid, but honestly, he kind of works in this role. And honestly, I think he's gone through too much. But who cares? I think Sam Witwicky is a fine character. I think he has a lot of dumb moments, and he doesn't have a very interesting character. But as it stands, he's not painful to watch run around and be an idiot on screen. So let's be happy for that. But I don't think, I'm just gonna real quickly just kind of yell this. Megan Fox is the worst! I hate Megan Fox, and it's obvious why. I don't think she's as bad in this movie as the last one, but holy crap, she cannot bring any life into any movie she's in. I hated her in Ninja Turtles. I hated her in both Ninja Turtles movies, honestly, and I hated her in both of these, both of the Transformers movies she actually appears in. Remember how she just randomly disappeared in Dark of the Moon? Yeah, well, I need some explanation there. Michael Bay clearly doesn't know how to handle an actress like Michael Bay. Oh, what the frick? No. Okay, Michael Bay does not know how to handle a character like Megan Fox. Or the actress Megan Fox. Because he simply just portrays her as the sex model. Oh, she's so hot. Now I'm gonna show these shots of her ass and her boobs. And it's really freaking annoying. Wait, there's more to that. Everyone else thinks she's hot, I guess. While a robot humps her leg. Jesus Christ, what the frick was that? Overall, I just think Megan Fox is a terrible actress, and I think that she is terribly miscasted in this movie, and her character sucks way more than Sam Witwicky. She's not even close to being the worst character in this movie. Let's just real quickly, before we get into the worst character in this movie, let's talk about his roommate. Yep, I actually barely remember this character, because he doesn't really do anything except for shout, be annoying, and just, I hate his character so much, but that's pretty obvious, because, you know, we're talking about Revenge of the Fallen here. His roommate is so irritating and annoying, and I just don't get why he's here. Just, Jesus, this guy sucks. There's actually possibly no scene in this movie where I thought, hey, he's funny, because he's not funny. But, now it's time to talk about the demons. Sam's parents. Oh my god. Sam's parents. You know what? Screw it. These are the most annoying. These characters are more annoying than Jar Jar Binks. Oh my god. What the heck? What the heck is going on? It's obvious Phantom Menace is better than Revenge of the Fallen, because it's Revenge of the Fallen. But these characters, they're so bad. They are so annoying. I hate these characters, and I hated them in the first Transformers, and I hated them in Dark of the Moon, and I hate them here. Their comedy is hilariously unfunny. Every scene with them is just annoying, stupid. The father is an absolute jerk, and it's just terrible. I just hate these characters. I just think that they have absolutely no chemistry. They're annoying. The comedy done with them is almost funny. How unfunny it is, except it isn't, so now it's just sad. These characters really suck, but that's pretty obvious. And I'm probably missing a character, but wait, no, oh, there's also Transformers in this movie, because, you know, it's Transformers, I think. Jeez, the thing about this movie is that there's so little good about it that I only remember the bad, and the Transformers don't end up being terrible. Of course, Optimus Prime is back, and Optimus Prime he's always just cool to be in a movie. Of course, the scene when he kills the Fallen is so bad. I don't know why, I just hate this scene, but I'll talk about that more in the story part of this video. But his character, there's just so many lines where he's really corny and stupid, but a couple of the scenes are awesome with him. Bumblebee is kind of ruined. Like, I'll just be honest, I do not like Bumblebee in these movies, and I'm hoping he's better in the new Bumblebee movie, which comes out in a couple weeks, because there's just something about him that I just don't like. Just the way his voice is done, he just plays music. I don't know if that's in the original cartoon, because I never watched that, but that's pretty bad character development there. He has some cool action scenes, sure, but as it stands, not that cool. Of course, Megatron is really corny and stupid, but let's talk about the Fallen, which is the dumbest thing ever. Like, wow. Look, when I first heard the name Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, I thought it was going to be about Megatron getting revenge, because, you know, he's fallen, he got defeated, but now it's his revenge. But no, this movie is actually about a character called the Fallen. Wow. Wow. That is dumb. That's dumb. Jeez, that is dumb. I cannot believe the choices made when they were making this movie. Some of them are hilarious, like making the Fallen a character. Oh my god. It's almost funny, but it isn't, so it's just sad. As a villain, the Fallen is extremely generic and boring. Just as a stance, he's not an interesting character at all. With dumb motivations, he's dumb. He doesn't do anything cool in this movie at all. Now, there are a couple things in this movie, like that one thing that was sucking up things. Look, I don't know this guy, but there's this guy, he's like, sucking up all these items, and, you know, he has this big whirlpool in his mouth, and geez, there's a lot of characters in this movie I'm not thinking about. But yeah, he's okay. Like, he's not a character, so I don't think I should be talking about it. But let's talk about those guys. Okay, so I just looked it up, and the big whirlpool machine is called the Destroyer. There's no reason that I didn't remember that, did I? But of course, Mudflap and Skids. Yep. No other character in cinema angers me as much as Mudflap and Skids. Possibly the two most racist characters in a blockbuster this size. There is almost no good comedy that these characters spit out of their mouths. It's not offensive to me. I just think it's super annoying and dumb, and I think it's racist. And I guess Michael Bay's a racist. I don't know. Maybe Michael Bay's a racist. It wouldn't surprise me, would it? But wow, just racist, unfunny, annoying, stupid characters. Mudflap and Skids. Jesus Christ. I believe I'm pronouncing his name right. John Travolta. Let's actually check if that name's right. John Turturro. Yeah, that's John Turturro. Yeah, he sucks, and nothing else to say there. Like, literally nothing else to say. Honestly, what else is there to say about the characters? I might go on and talk about some more characters in this movie, but honestly, they just all suck too much to actually talk about characters in this movie. No characters. Interesting, the only one I don't think is actually annoying is, of course, the main character, Sam Witwicky. I think he's a fine, okay character. I think Shia LaBeouf did okay for what he was given, and this movie sucks otherwise, other than that. It is going to be such a joy to talk about the incomplete script of Revenge of the Fallen, but I will do my best. Let's first read what IMDb has to say about the synopsis of this movie. Let's see if this sucks or not. Sam Witwicky leaves the Autobots for a normal life, but when his mind is filled with cryptic symbols, the Decepticons target him, and he is dragged back into the Transformers war. Wow. I'm surprised by how unspecific that was. It didn't even mention anything about the Fallen. Pretty obvious why. Let's start by just real quick giving you a warning. I haven't seen this movie in a week or two, and it's actually surprising because I didn't watch my Fallen Kingdom right before the review. In fact, at the time I made that review, I had only seen the Fallen Kingdom once, but I still remember the script well enough. Revenge of the Fallen, I do not remember the script well enough to fully talk about the story. You might be thinking I should do some more research, but I don't really want to research about Revenge of the Fallen right now, because I just hate this movie too much. So I'll do my best to kind of go over the plot, and I'll give some more details. So this will just be like an overall summary of the writing of this movie, not me going through the plot, which I actually find a lot more fun, because I find it less stressful and more entertaining to just hear me talk about everything that happens in this movie. So let's just start right off with the humor of this movie. Pretty hard to judge whether the humor of this movie should be included in the enjoyability section or not. And I might do that, but let's actually do that, because the enjoyability section is all he's gonna say this movie's impossible to watch. So let's just first start off with saying this. So Sam Witwicky is living a normal life. He has, he's got his girlfriend in his life with their robot love. Words from Ninjago. Remember that? It's a pretty bad show. Yeah, well, I'm referencing it again, baby. I don't know why I'm referencing Ninjago again, but I am. So, I don't care what you have to say. But, of course, the plot of this movie is that Sam Witwicky, he touches a shard from the Allspark that was stuck in his coat, and he starts getting all these cryptic messages, and he's having spasms in class, and he's acting all weird, and yeah, it's pretty obvious why this plot sucks. It's actually really obvious. You know why? Because he ran like a mile in the first movie holding the entire Allspark cube. So how is he getting the cryptic messages when he touches the smallest shard of this cube? Well, the movie tells you to believe it when it says that and think it's smart, but it isn't. Yeah. Yep. Alright, first off, it's pretty obvious this movie drags the frick out. I was in pain by the end of this movie. I was almost yelling, "And now! And now!" But as it stands, this movie, it's weird because this movie isn't, believe it or not, predictable. And that's weird, but I just think it's because when you're watching a movie, you're not thinking, I'm gonna predict this movie. You're just thinking, what the heck? What is this? Yeah, I'd actually rather my movie being people predicting what happens in my movie. I mean, I wouldn't, because it would just be like, thanks for calling my writing bad. But I'd rather that than people screaming at my movie saying it sucks. But anyway, the beginning of the movie mainly is just like the Autobots they're not chasing Sam, and Sam's acting weird and stuff at parties, and he's doing weird stuff. When he goes to college, he hooks up with another girl who ends up being a Transformer, because that makes sense, right? Since when would that make any sense? His mom eats a marijuana brownie. Get it? Because it's funny. Because it's a marijuana brownie. Ha ha ha, get it? No. Michael Bay doesn't care. He's gonna make the joke anyway. But he hooks up with this other girl. Megan Fox are like, why'd you cheat on me? And he's like, I don't know.
What an asshole.
Jeez, the more I talk about this movie, the more brain cells I lose. Jeez, I'm having such a hard time giving a synopsis. There's just things kind of happening in this movie. Like, there's just random things being thrown at the screen. The comedy is not working. You're just hating what you're watching. But let's just try this. We'll try our best to give a synopsis of the movie. You know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna watch the Cram It by Screen Junkies. Maybe I'll really understand what's going on in this movie now. Jeez, why should a Transformers movie be so gosh dang complex? I'm literally here to watch Transformers punch each other, not to hear a deep emotional story about how humans live and whatever! But wait, hold up. Why don't we add some other stupid plots in here? Apparently the Fallen and all of his friends all destroyed us, like, attacked humans when they were just starting out. You know, these movies actually do this a lot, from what I can tell, where they go back in time and say this historical thing, or the Transformers, oh, they met before 2007. Like, why are we doing this? Like, it becomes boring soon. Like, remember okay, so in the first one, they don't do this, but in this one, they claim that they saw us when we were just starting out. In the next movie, they claim that the moon landing was there to go to this wrecked ship on the moon. And then in the next movie, they claim that they also came here, like, before humans or around the time of humans. I don't know exactly what happens in Age of Extinction, seeing as that's the only one I haven't seen. But then I did see The Last Knight, of course, and in The Last Knight, they claim that the Transformers helped King Arthur. Yeah. Why? This is how to dumb down your audience to the point where your entire plot is just completely incoherent and absolutely makes no sense. Perfect way to describe the entirety of this movie. Look. You know, Transformers movies. You kind of have to think about what happens before you write the movie. Like, you have to let people see the previous movies before you write the next one. I can't believe that more than one person wrote this movie. This sounds like Michael Bay wrote this movie. I wouldn't be that surprised about that, would I? Michael Bay just seems like the type of guy to just write bullcrap like this. There's also the Matrix thing in this movie. This is the most confusing plot in the movie. When I first saw this, I didn't care about this plot at all. Still don't. What? This does not make sense. And I really am surprised that, like, a Transformers movie should just be like, bad guy's coming down to Earth and he's gonna try and destroy Earth. Let's just try and entertain the audience. But Michael Bay is so set on making this movie be emotional or be the next big thing, and it ultimately collapses the entire movie on itself. Another thing this movie does is it's really still okay. So one scene in this movie is the scene where a Autobot spies on what an officer, I'm forgetting his name, says to Optimus Prime, and it coincidentally, for him at least, leads him right to to what he needs to find, the Matrix. It's so convenient, just so convenient for him. Good for him.
Frick you, you stupid movie.
But wait, hold up, also, the Matrix brings Megatron back to life. Except that's what killed him in the first movie. So, what? Alright, so fighting this movie, I think I should go into this more in the visuals or enjoyability part of this movie. Or there's a fight in this movie where the Autobots, they rescue, of course, I think Autobots. Yes, Autobots. They rescue Sam and all of his friends. And yeah, it's a pretty stupid scene. Jesus, I can't believe how bad this movie was. Anyway, in this force battle, Megatron kills Optimus. And Optimus is totally dead, right? Yeah, Optimus is dead, I think. Yeah, we're all gonna believe Optimus he's never gonna come back again. It's not like he's on the forefront of the poster. Jeez. There's also a scene in this movie where, this is a very big important plot point. The Fallen sends a radio message over onto the entire world, because now he has a camera, right? Yeah, he got a camera. In this message, he says that if they don't return the boy, then he will destroy the world. And that's even, like, the dumbest thing I've ever heard, because wouldn't an alien from outer space not say they will destroy the world, they will destroy your worlds? Or I guess our worlds? Or, well, he would say we will destroy your world, because it's not his world. If you say the worlds, you're implying that either that is the only world or that is the only world you know. And that is not true. You knew a lot of other worlds. So what is going on? When he says this, I think he should be saying your world. So it's even dumber. Nonetheless, this message is dumb. It's not threatening. It's almost funny how Michael Bay thinks it's scary, only it isn't. In fact, I actually think the Man of Steel message, now I'm going to give credit to that, because of the message in this movie. There's also a Transformer in the Smithsonian Museum. Yep. Okay, yeah, the encode's here and see if this movie is through the roof. Let's just jump right into the final battle, which you'd think would be awesome. But nope. The Fallen's gonna reawaken the sun. Of course, Sam dies in the middle and he goes to Transformer heaven because, you know, we're supposed to buy stupid bullcrap like that. More things happen. Explosions, dumb bullcrap. The scene when Optimus kills the Fallen is really stupid. Action is dumb. The dialogue is dumb. There's no emotion being felt while watching it. There's a lot of slow-mo. There's a lot of John Turturro hanging under a Transformer's balls. Because that's comedy, right? It's so funny. Talk about a dumb movie. Just overall, this entire final battle sucks because it goes on way too long. It's not cool. It's all this shaky cam. In fact, that's one thing I'm going to talk about in the visuals, but it's this shaky cam. It's not funny. Writing-wise, I'm just going to talk about it writing-wise. It's stupid. It goes on way too long. And just overall, writing-wise, the final battle sucks. Just writing-wise, I don't remember enough about this movie to really criticize it. Just let me just tell you this. There's no point of the writing of this movie that's good. It's all stupid. It doesn't make sense. It's incoherent. For some reason, things happen that don't make any sense and will never be explained in the Transformers franchise. And it is a stupid movie. And the writing in this movie absolutely sucks. Oh my god, now we're gonna talk about the visuals of this movie. This is gonna be a doozy, isn't it? I'm sorry for making you guys watch the visuals of this movie for so long. I genuinely believe these are some of the worst action visuals possibly of all time. I think Transfer Hitman's Code has better visuals than this movie. Or I guess just Transfer, because, you know, Hitman's Code comes out in May. But Transfer 1's already out now. You should go check that out. It's in
MGD, the YouTube channel. Ah!
Look, it's obvious I don't want to talk about the visuals, but I'll do so. The visuals in this movie is the stupid shaky cam the entire time. It shakes around a lot. And a lot of people said that the forest scene is quite entertaining, and I personally and hilariously disagree. The forest scene of this movie, well, it's awful. It's shaky cam. It made me feel sick. You have no idea what's going on. It looks like two junk piles merging together. It looks awful. The rest of this, every action scene in this movie looks like this. There's a scene at the beginning where, at the beginning of this movie, the scene where they catch the first Decepticon is actually pretty big and fun. It's loud, it is obnoxious, but it's fun. Definitely a fun scene. I mean, it's not that fun, and it does contain a bit of gore in it, but it's not terrible, per se.
That's the only redeemable scene in this movie.
Look, the visuals in this movie are almost funny how bad they are. Almost no shot in this movie. I think the action scenes in this movie are far from being entertaining or good. I absolutely hate the visuals of this movie. It just looks bad. Like, it just looks bad. I just hate the visuals of this movie. They just suck. As I stated, it's far from being entertaining. It's far from being cool. It's far from being anywhere remotely close to good. I absolutely hate this movie visually, and I think it's a jar to watch. Also, color scheme-wise. I think the movies in general get better as they go color scheme-wise, because I think that the color scheme of the first Transformers is this ugly orangish brown, and I just hate the visuals of the first one. And the same goes for here. The visuals in this movie are pretty, just camera angles wise, and I guess what I'm trying to say is the way the movie looks from a color scheme wise, it looks really ugly. The desert scenes are very sickening, almost, the way the color scheme is done. I hated this color scheme in the movie Rampage from earlier this year, and a lot of the Fallen Kingdom color scheme sucked. But neither of those movies compare to the awful color scheme of both Revenge of the Fallen and the first Transformers. I just think this movie is just more sickening to watch. The final battle, the way it looks, it looks so bland, and it looks the color scheme is not helping. It's just dark, icky, just orange, just brown, and why is this the color scheme chosen? It just sucks. You know what, all I can say is that the shaky cam is annoying, the overall look of this movie, the color scheme, this movie sucks visually. Let's just move right on to the final category, I think. Yeah, it's the final category, we can get it over with. Final category.
The enjoyability.
The enjoyability of this movie.
This movie is not very enjoyable.
Look, let's just be flat out honest, and it's obvious, this movie is not funny. It's also not entertaining in its action. The action scenes are not entertaining, like I said in the visuals. They're hard to watch. They're not fun. It's just annoying. Oh my god. And then if I just talk about it, the enjoyability of this movie's not fun. It is not a fun, entertaining, big action movie. And if you're going to judge by entertainment wise, maybe someone could be entertained by this movie. I've heard a lot of people say that they were entertained by it, and while I completely and utterly disagree with you, I'm fine. But who can say the comedy of this movie is good? I've already spent the last category talking about why it's not fun visually and at all, just the action scenes are fun. So now I'll just spend this entire category talking about the way this movie genuinely, the comedy is not funny.
Did you hear me? It's not funny!
Oh my god, it's not funny. It's like, some of the jokes in this movie are awful. Like, the scene in the middle, there's this big kitchen action scene, and in the middle it just shows one dog humping another dog.
That's what we want to see in a Transformers movie, isn't it?
There's more scenes in this movie as dumb as that. There are jokes that are just awful. The scene where Sam Witwicky's mom eats a marijuana brownie is awful. The scene where the little robot's humping Megan Fox's leg. The scene where John Turturro is under the Destroyer's balls. We're talking about comedy at that level. And none of my friends have actually seen Revenge of the Fallen, but when I told them the comedy of this movie, they were in utter shock that this isn't a Transformers movie. Like, holy crap, it's not. Ugh, my god. And I've already stated visually this movie really sucks, but enjoyability-wise, it's on a whole other level of suck. It's not entertaining because the script is drawn out, long and boring, and doesn't make sense and is incoherent. And here's the thing, a movie usually doesn't work when every other category collapses. One movie where that isn't the case is the movie Venom from October of this year. Because Venom, it had terrible of everything, except for I had a good time watching it, and it's just because the action scenes are pretty fun to watch. It's just overall an okay movie visually, or just enjoyability wise, but it's a common occurrence when every other category collapses, the enjoyability will be definitely dragged down. A lot of movies this year I enjoyed, but I personally think were garbage, like Rampage, The Meg, and I think Venom's garbage, just genuinely, I don't like Venom. But I kind of liked Rampage and The Meg, because those movies are quite a lot of fun to watch. But they were bad in the other categories, sure, but they didn't suck terribly and like were incoherent and dumb and terrible. Look, I guess those movies were dumb, but this movie's on a whole other level of dumb. The writer's strike is obvious in this movie, and it absolutely, every category collapsing pretty much drags the enjoyability down. What drags the enjoyability down even more is that the action scenes aren't well choreographed, and of course, the comedy is flat and almost funny. How not funny it is. So yeah, I hate this movie in its representation in that way. There's almost no enjoyability to be had while watching this movie. It has no so bad it's good scenes, no enjoyable scenes, no nothing. Alright, let's wrap this stupid thing up. Revenge of the Fallen is possibly the worst action film of all time. It absolutely fails in every single way. Its color scheme is disgusting and is sickening. The explosions are overwhelming and terrible. The characters are annoying, stupid, irritating, unfunny. The comedy is so bad. I hate the way the comedy in this movie is awful. The action scenes are the stupid shaky cam that's almost unbearable to watch. It is a unredeemable movie, and I hate every second of this movie. What's weird about this movie is that Michael Bay recognized that this movie sucked. Like honestly, when I watched Dark of the Moon, which I will review soon, you kind of realize that Michael Bay was kind of like, hey, why don't I try and save this franchise? But maybe, as I'm recording this, I haven't seen Age of Extinction, but by as I'm uploading this, I probably have. But who knows, maybe Age of Extinction will be worse than Revenge of the Fallen. I'll announce whether I think it is worse in the actual Age of Extinction movie review, which don't worry, that one will be big. I just thought that Revenge of the Fallen, being the epic failure that it is, as the sequel, and possibly the worst sequel of all time, it honestly deserves to get the epic review over Age of Extinction, because Age of Extinction is the fourth installment, and obviously it's going to be doing the same things this movie does. Plus, from the trailers I've seen, I actually quite like the color scheme of Age of Extinction, so there's another thing that I have to give Age of Extinction over this movie, and why I decided to review Revenge of the Fallen over it. I hate this movie. It's not funny. It's bad. It's dumb. I don't know how, I don't see how someone can enjoy this. I know people have enjoyed it, so there's proof there that people can enjoy it, but I don't know anyone who has enjoyed it, and I haven't really ever seen anyone who has enjoyed it, but I know there are people who did enjoy this movie. So if you enjoyed it, great. I don't know how to, I can't recommend this movie to anyone, because I can't say, turn your brain off and you'll have fun, because you won't, because the visuals suck, and it's unbearable to watch, but it's just impossible to recommend a movie as bad as Revenge of the Fallen to any human on the planet Earth. I hate this movie, and it is pretty much exactly everything wrong with the Transformers franchise right now. And I'm just hoping Bumblebee in a couple weeks, or just in a week or whatever. I don't know when I'm uploading this, but let's just hope Bumblebee is really good, because we're removing Michael Bay. Finally, that is exactly what I wanted. And also, the trailers for Bumblebee are pretty sweet, and I think that it looks actually pretty cool. I'm just hoping the movie's fun and good and simple. That's all I'm asking. Please deliver that. Do not do Revenge of the Fallen, where it's incoherent, stupid, overcomplicated, 2.5 hours of boring, bad movie. Revenge of the Fallen might be one of the worst films I've ever seen. It's easily worse than movies like Slenderman, Show Dogs, Robin Hood, Truth or Dare, all 2018 movies. 2018 movies, yeah, believe it or not. I don't know if I hate this movie as much as like Emoji Movie or Norm of the North, but it's on par with those movies. Wondering what my out of 10 rating would be on my channel? It's obvious. I'd give this movie a 1 out of 10. There's almost no redeemable qualities to it. It's not entertaining. It's not fun. It's boring, stupid, loud, obnoxious, and one of the worst films, in my opinion, that has ever been made. I'm MTS the Shark. This has been your epic review of
Revenge of the Fallen.
See you guys next time. I don't know, epic reviews are incredibly rare, so what am I doing next? I don't know, I'm preparing for a Skyscraper review, but I just don't know about that one. I think I'm going to start doing these when a new movie is getting a new franchise installment, and I would be making one on the epic failure of Spider-Man 3. The reason why I won't be doing that is because I'm making this one instead, and I feel like this one's more deserved, because it's worse than Spider-Man 3. But, you know, the next epic review will probably not come out for a couple months or so, just because these videos are so big and hard to edit. I can make smaller videos and just get more subs and stuff, right? So it's just hard to edit a video this big. So yeah, what do you guys think on Transformers Revenge of the Fallen? Hopefully you hate it. See you guys next time. Can't wait to make some more epic reviews and kill some more movies. So yeah, bye!